Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Today we'll go for the anatomy of a biliary tree or biliary tract or biliary system. Okay. First of all, biliary tree collects the bile from the liver and stores in the gallbladder and transmit it to the second part of the duodenum. Okay, I already explained during the anatomy of the duodenum. Okay, how it is open everything. Okay, it is biliary tree. It collects the bile from the liver. Okay, these are the common hepatic duct, right and left hepatic duct. This is a common hepatic duct, and this bile is stored in the gallbladder. This is a pear-shaped one sac or pouch is there. This is a gallbladder stores here. It is highly in the alkaline in nature. Okay, and it is transfers to the second part of the duodenum by the this is a cystic duct, by it is common bile duct, and common bile duct and pancreatic join together and forms the hepatopancreatic ampulla of Vater and opens at the second part of the duodenum. Okay, the biliary tree mainly consists of a right and left hepatic duct, common hepatic duct, gallbladder, cystic duct, common bile duct. Okay, and common bile duct joins to the pancreatic duct, open forms the hepatopancreatic ampulla of Vater. Okay, and that opens into the second part of the duodenum. The biliary tree also say as a biliary tract or biliary system. Okay, now we can go for the next slide. Today we will go for the anatomy of this biliary tree. Biliary means bile. It carries the bile. Okay, now during the embryology, during the development of this biliary tree, okay, in that what happened, the hepatic diverticulum, this is forms the heart, and this is the here it is, you can first see the foregut everything. Okay, this is the position of the septum transversum. Okay, you can go for the next slide. In this, okay, you can see here, this is the one dorsal pancreatic duct is there. This is a ventral bud. In that, this diverticulum or dilated part forms the gallbladder, and this one is say as a total whole everything is say as a hepatic diverticulum. Okay, and it has the cords. Okay, and it is also has a one bud. This is ventral bud. During this hepatic diverticulum, okay, appears in the ventral, this is a ventral part and this is a dorsal part. Okay, a ventral wall of the primitive midgut in the early stage of the 4th week. Okay, and in what happened, this cords it for the finger like structures and forms this diverticulum forms the liver and intrahepatic ducts everything, and this pouch like structure is forms the gallbladder. Another one is diverticulum is forms that is the ventral bud for the pancreas. Okay, and then what happened, this hepatic diverticulum appears in the ventral wall of the primitive midgut early in the 4th week of intrauterine life in the development of the human embryology. This small diverticulum is enlarged for development of the liver and extrahepatic biliary duct. Okay, gallbladder and ventral pancreatic bud. Okay, you can go for the next slide. In that you can understand that only this ventral bud only, or it in the you can what is say at ventral wall there is one bud like structure will happen, or one can say diverticulum, hepatic diverticulum happen. This hepatic diverticulum only develops and forms the what intrahepatic or extrahepatic biliary tract. Okay, you can see here that diverticulum. Okay, this first diverticulum gallbladder is formed. Okay, and another one vertical pancreatic bud was happen, and multiple blood or clots are happen that forms the development of liver and extrahepatic biliary duct, and this is a ventral bud. Okay, you can see in that also. This is the ventral wall and this is the dorsal wall, and dorsal wall also has a one bud. Okay, this dorsal wall and this is, and what happen because of the rotation of the duodenum, this ventral blood and dorsal blood. Okay, and this is what happen. This is a gallbladder, this is a cystic duct, and this is a extrahepatic duct, or you can say as a common hepatic duct joined together and forms the common bile duct. And in that you can see in common that another one is bud is there, that is a ventral pancreatic bud. During the rotation of a duodenum, what happen, this ventral bud move towards the dorsal side, or it will rotates. Okay, and that what happen, there is forms the pancreas. Okay, or rotation, and in the fourth week 2 buds can be recognized in the hepatic diverticulum. And another one thing, this was rotates. Okay, and rotates like that. Okay, and this is what happen, this is common bile duct come in first behind the first part of the duodenum, and this is a dorsal bud. Okay, and this is a ventral bud, and these are forms the dorsal and ventral bud develops and forms the pancreas, and this duct joins towards the common hepatic duct, and this is a pancreatic duct forms. Okay, and forms the open at the second part of the duodenum, and like that, because of that this happen like this, because the rotation towards the left side. Okay, or rotation of the duodenum forms the like that. Another one thing, in that last slide I will say this cranial buds. Okay, these are buds. Okay, cranial buds becomes the liver and extrahepatic biliary tree or tract. The caudal buds develops into the superior and inferior buds from the superior bud and the gallbladder and cystic duct and appears. Because of that, these superior buds, okay, this superior buds forms the liver and extrahepatic biliary tree, and caudal bud develops into the superior, and inferior this bud. Okay, this inferior buds forms the gallbladder and cystic duct by the inferior. And here you can see this is a right, this is the right, and this is a left. Okay, in the right and left ventral pancreas buds develop from the ventral left ventral pancreatic develops from the inferior bud by the fifth week, and week all elements of biliary tract we can recognize easily. Like that rotation will happen. Okay, because of common bile duct. Here you can see here, this is a your ventral blood and this is a dorsal blood joins together and forms the pancreas. Okay, head of the uncinate process, everything you can happen. And here this is a common bile duct and this is a pancreatic duct. This is because of the ventral, and this is a dorsal and this is a ventral bud. Okay, develops and forms the pancreas, and this accessory pancreatic duct open, this is also open at the duodenum at the minor papilla, and this is where the common hepatopancreatic ampulla of Vater opens as a major papillae. Okay, I will briefly explain. Okay, you can see as this is the hepatic duct and this is the your gallbladder diverticulum or cystic diverticulum, everything, and this is a ventral pancreatic duct. During the 4th week or 5th week, the rotation of the duodenum is happen, and because of that this ventral surface move towards the moving of the left side, because of the it comes behind the or below the dorsal pancreatic duct, like that. Okay, like that it will move, rotates. Okay, and by that what happen, there is a formation of a major duodenal papillae by the joining of the common bile duct and the pancreatic duct. Okay, and uncinate process will happen by the ventral bud of the pancreas, and dorsal bud by that the forms the head, body, tail, everything, and in that mainly duodenal minor duodenal papilla was happen. Like that rotation of the biliary tree was happen. Okay, in biliary tree mainly consists of the biliary tree consists of a right and left hepatic duct, common hepatic duct, right and left hepatic duct joints from the common hepatic duct, and common hepatic duct receive the cystic duct and gallbladder and form the common bile duct, and common bile duct joins with the pancreatic duct form the hepatopancreatic ampulla. Okay, ampulla of Vater, and open side the second part of the duodenum. This is like a this. Okay, this is right and left hepatic duct. Okay, and then joins together the forms the at the where the right and hepatic duct joins and joins together and comes downwards and backwards, forms the common hepatic ducts that you can see in the porta hepatitis. In there you can right and left hepatic ducts are joins together and forms the common hepatic duct, and common hepatic ducts move courses downwards and backwards, and after that cystic duct joins together and forms the common bile duct, and common bile duct joins to the pancreatic ducts and forms the ampulla of Vater. Okay, I can go for the next slide. Like this is a biliary tree anatomy, how the biliary tree was formed. There is, I briefly explain the how the biliary tree was formed. In the it has a biliary tree is divided into intrahepatic and extrahepatic. Okay, in extrahepatic you can see as a right hepatic duct and left hepatic duct joins together forms the common hepatic duct. Common hepatic duct joins with the cystic duct and gallbladder forms the common bile duct. In intrahepatic, hepatic it denotes the liver. Intra means within the liver. Okay, intrahepatic, in that ductular and canalicular networks of the kidney or acini. Acini means in that it is acini is refers to any cluster of cells or cluster of hepatocytes. Okay, cells that resembles a many-lobed berry, or you can say strawberry like that. It looks like a berry such as a raspberry. Okay, and that acne cells or acini cells have the form of the one canaliculars and ductular tubes, and that ductular tubes and canalicular tubes joins to forms the intralobular ducts. That intralobular duct join together and forms the septal bile duct, and that septal bile ducts joins and forms the major ducts. Okay, and that are right duct and left duct. Okay, these right hepatic duct drains from the right lobe of the liver in general, and left hepatic duct drains from the left lobe of the the liver. And extrahepatic, in that extra means what below the hepatic, or you can say the after the hepatic, or outside the hepatic or outside the liver. Extrahepatic in that right hepatic duct, left hepatic duct, common hepatic duct, cystic duct, gallbladder, and common bile duct. Okay, like that it was forms. Okay, go for the next slide. The bile duct. Okay, the liver cells secretes the bile. The bile canaliculi carry this bile to the intralobular ducts. Okay, these are all cells. Okay, these are the bile cells, and these are the canaliculi. You can see that these are the canaliculi, and these canaliculi and joins and forms the intralobular ducts. Okay, then these intralobular ducts join together forms the large ducts. Okay, and these large ducts are joins together and forms the bile ducts, right and left, like that bile ducts. You can see in this picture clearly. Okay, the liver cell secretes the bile. The bile canaliculi carry the bile to the intralobular ducts. Okay, these are the canaliculi, bile canaliculi, and these are joins together and from the intralobular ducts, and these intralobular ducts joins together and form the septal ducts, and these septal ducts joins together and form the major ducts, that are right and left hepatic ducts. Okay, and these intralobular ducts joins one another to form the progressively large ducts, and eventually at the porta hepatitis from the right and left hepatic duct. Okay, you can see here these are the hepatocytes. Okay, these are drains the bile from the canaliculi. Bile secretes by the hepatocytes and in drained by the bile canal that are connected here. Okay, and these bile canaliculi joins together and forms the what? Bile ductules or duct. Okay, these bile ducts joins together forms the lobular ductules. These lobular ductules ducts joins together form the septal. Okay, and septal joins together and area ducts and segmental ductules like that form. You can see here like this is there biliary tree, in that intrahepatic bile ducts. Okay, in that first you can see canals of hearing of ductules. There is less than the 15 mm. Okay, and the intralobular ductules. Okay, then septal ductules. These are septal like this join, and septal ductules join together area ductules, and area ductules joins and form the segmental ductules, and segmental join together form the right and left major ducts. There are right and left hepatic ducts. Okay, and right and left hepatic ducts and form joins together forms the common hepatic duct. Like that the intrahepatic biliary tree is there. Can go for the next slide. Here also you can see here these are all cells, hepatocyte cells. Okay, these are drained by the the cluster of acne cells. These are then drained by the biliary canaliculi, and these biliary canaliculi are drained to form the ductules, and ductules are drained into the bile ducts. Okay, and bile ducts joins together from the lobular ducts to septal ducts join to the area-wise ducts. Aerial ducts are to lobar ducts, and lobar ducts are to right and left major ducts at the porta hepatitis. And what is the difference between the intrahepatic and extrahepatic? Names only denotes. Okay, intra means within the hepatic means liver, within the liver. Extrahepatic means outside the liver. Okay, the intrahepatic, these are formed from the large bile canaliculi, which comes together to form the segmental duct. Okay, and fuse close to the porta hepatitis into right and left hepatic duct. In extrahepatic, it starts from the after the intrahepatic bile ducts. The right and left hepatic ducts. Okay, they are major right and left. These right and left joins together and forms the hepatic duct, and that hepatic duct carries the joins together from the cystic duct, and that cystic duct joins to form the hepatic duct, common hepatic duct, to form the common bile duct or choledochus. Okay, and that common bile duct enters the second portion of the duodenum through the muscular structure of the sphincter of Oddi. And there it joins together with the pancreatic duct, hepatopancreatic ampulla of Vater, and that ampulla of Vater is have the one sphincter. That sphincter is a sphincter of Oddi. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Like that. Okay, this is a biliary tree. Now before we can go for the right and left hepatic duct, first you can go for the anatomy of the common hepatic duct. The common hepatic duct, it is a 1 to 4 centimeter in length. Approximately it is 4 centimeter in 4 mm in diameter. It is lies in front of a portal vein and to right to the hepatic artery. You can see as a this is a portal vein, and this is the hepatic artery. Okay, it is lies in front of the portal vein and to the right to the hepatic artery. The common hepatic duct joins to at the acute angle by the cystic duct to form a common bile duct. You can see here, this is the common hepatic duct. This common hepatic duct, it is present in front of the portal vein and rise to the right of the hepatic artery. Okay, it acute forms the joins with the acute angle by the cystic duct and forms the form a common bile duct. Okay, can go for the next slide. In this you can easily make out the, okay, this is a right hepatic duct and this is a left hepatic duct. This is the joins together and form the common hepatic duct. Common hepatic duct is 1 to 4 in centimeter. Diameter is 4 mm diameter and it is present in, this is a portal vein. This is a portal vein. It is in front of the portal vein and right to the hepatic artery. Okay, and it forms the common bile duct by the joining of the cystic duct at the acute angle. You can see here, this is a cystic duct. Okay, now the right hepatic ducts drain to the right lobe of the liver. The left hepatic ducts drain to the left lobe of the quadrate lobe and quadrate lobe. After short course of the hepatic duct union to form the common hepatic duct. Okay, I already know. The common hepatic duct is about 4 cm in length. It descends within the free margin of the lesser omentum and it joins on the right side by the cystic duct from the gallbladder to form a common bile duct. Here it is present in the lesser omentum. Okay, descends within the free margins of the lesser omentum. There is one foramina is there. By that you are easily make out the, just above that foramina you can make out the common hepatic duct. Okay, now we can go for the hepatic ducts, in that right and left hepatic ducts. Okay, the right and hepatic ducts emerge at the porta hepatitis from the right and left lobe of the liver. Okay, you can see here in this is a, can right and left make out and forms the porta hepatitis. Good afternoon everyone. Now we can go for the anatomy of a gallbladder or gallbladder. Gallbladder is a small pouch that sits just under the surface of the liver or just below the liver. Okay, and this is the gallbladder stores bile, okay, that produced by the liver. Okay, I already explained. Okay, in biliary tree consists of a both intrahepatic and extrahepatic. In the extrahepatic, right and left hepatic duct, common hepatic duct, gallbladder, cystic duct, common bile duct, they like that. Okay, now we study the what is meant by the gallbladder. A gallbladder is nothing but it is on storage house. You can say as a storage house or is a storage sac like pouch. Okay, it is store the bile. Okay, that bile produce or secretes by the liver. Okay, and that bile, concentrated bile, is stored in the gallbladder. And this gallbladder is a small pouch like structure, okay, that sits just behind or just under, okay, just under or just below the liver. This is a liver and this is a or gallbladder, and this is a Hirschmann's pouch or neck of the gallbladder, and this is a cystic duct, and this is a common hepatic duct, and this is triangle. You can see this is a triangle of Kellogg's triangle or hepatocystic triangle. Okay, the gallbladder is a function, primary function is stores the bile, okay, and which is produced in the liver and helps break down the fat in the body. And gallbladder, you can see it is a pear shaped or pyriform shaped. You can see here gallbladder is a pear shaped or pyriform shaped. Okay. Gallbladder is a storage house for the bile juice. Okay. That bile juice or bile is produced by the liver. Okay. Can I go for the next slide? And it is present, where it is present? It is present in the fossa for gallbladder. Okay, there is one fossa is formed, okay, in the liver. Here it is, gallbladder is situated or seated. And where it sits? Just below or just under the surface of liver. The fossa for gallbladder is formed by the, on the left side, quadrate lobe, on right side, right lobe of the liver, superiorly right on the end of the porta hepatitis, and inferiorly the, we can say, the inferior border of the liver. Okay, this is the liver. Okay, like that the fossa for gallbladder is formed. Okay, then the fossa for gallbladder, and it is, this is fossa for gallbladder, it is right to the quadrate lobe. Okay, you just identify the quadrate lobe, just right to the quadrate lobe is fossa for gallbladder, superiorly porta hepatitis, inferiorly inferior border of liver. On the right side, here you can got the, here it is a our colic flexure, hepatic colic flexure. You can see here you got the what, duodenal flexure. What you are seeing, this is a duodenal impression. Okay, second part of the duodenal impression, and just here you got the renal impression. Okay, like that you can got for fossa for gallbladder. The gallbladder, it is 7 to 10 centimeter in long and 3 centimeter in breadth. Okay, can go for the next slide. Introduction. In vertebrates, the gallbladder, or it is also said as a cholecyst or gallbladder or biliary vesicle, is a small organ where bile is stored before it is released into the small intestine. Second part, small intestine means second part of the duodenum. The human can live without gallbladder. The gallbladder is a hollow organ that sits just beneath the right lobe of the liver, or under the liver, or under the right lobe of the liver. Okay, gallbladder, it is a pear shaped or it is a pyriform shaped. Okay, and it is a reservoir of bile situated in the fossa. That fossa is said as a fossa for gallbladder. Okay, on the inferior surface of the right lobe of the liver. Then fossa for gallbladder is mainly made by the, it is just right to the quadrate lobe, and it is left to the right lobe of the liver, or left to the, where it you can got the colic impression, duodenal impression and renal impression, superiorly porta hepatitis, and inferiorly inferior border of the liver. The fossa for gallbladder, it extends from the right end of the porta hepatitis. Porta hepatitis, where the arteries and veins will go to into the liver, and hepatic duct will to come to into the what, outside. That, okay, in short I will briefly explain, and I go for the anatomy of the liver, and that time I will explain detailedly what about the porta hepatitis, everything. Okay, and here is portal triad is there. Okay, portal vein, hepatic artery and duct. Duct means hepatic duct. Okay, porta hepatitis, from where the arteries goes inside, and what artery veins are go into the liver and duct will come to outside, or you can say it's a hilum of the liver, you can in shortly, okay, not exactly, shortly say like that, okay. And hepatitis inferior border of the liver. Now go for the location or position of the gallbladder. Okay, you can see here, this is a liver, and what you can say, see, this is a our gallbladder. When it is gallbladder is filled with the stones or dilated, that time you can palpate this gallbladder at the 9th costal rib, okay, at the tip of the gallbladder you can palpate at the 9th costal rib, okay. And the position of the gallbladder is, you can see here in this is a epigastric region and this is a right hypochondric region, okay. Gallbladder present from epigastric region and right hypochondric region. Here to here it is, you can see here, this is a inferior border of the gallbladder, okay, and where it is present in between the quadrate lobe and right lobe of the liver. In this you can see, this is a porta hepatitis. Superiorly you can got the right end, this is a right end, superiorly right end, this is a right end of the porta hepatitis. Porta hepatitis means this is a portal vein, this is a bile duct, common hepatic duct, and this is a hepatic artery, okay. Right to the porta hepatitis, right end of the porta hepatitis, this is a inferior border of the liver, okay. And this is a fossa for gallbladder, or it is present in between the, this is a quadrate lobe, right to the quadrate lobe, this is a gallbladder, okay. And this is from this fossa for gallbladder, that right side, this is impression for the duodenum, this is impression for the colic flexure, this is the impression for the renal, okay, renal, okay. In that, just left to the duodenal impression, just left to the colic impression, you can got the fossa for gallbladder or the gallbladder, okay. In short, in that, this is present just right to the quadrate lobe, or it is present in between the quadrate lobe and right lobe of the liver. And this is a fundus of the gallbladder, and it is fundus, it is look like a fundus, it is look like a dome shaped, okay, or bottom of the it is present at the bottom, and it that protrudes from the under the liver, okay, from the under the liver, it is protrudes from under the liver, okay. You can go for the next slide, okay. You can see it is a pear shaped, okay. This is a pear shaped gallbladder, look like a pear shaped. Gallbladder is a pear shaped sac lying on the visceral surface of the right lobe of the liver in the fossa between the right and quadrate lobe. This is 10 centimeter in length, okay. In approximate it is 7 to 10 centimeter in length and 4 centimeter in breadth or broad, okay. It contains volume 35 to 50 ml. Thickness of this gallbladder wall is 1 to 2 mm. Okay, now I already explained fossa for the gallbladder or gallbladder position. It is present just right to the quadrate lobe and left to the right lobe of the liver. This is a superiorly right end of the porta hepatitis and inferiorly, okay, inferior border of the inferior border of the liver, okay. This is for the gallbladder fossa, and this will look like a pyriform or pear shaped, okay. Fundus Okay, it is a fundus is bottom of the bottom portion, okay, that protrudes from the under the liver, and it is a look like a dome shaped. Okay, these are the segmental. When I go for the anatomy of liver, that time I will explain. Okay, you can see here, this portion is says a fossa for the gallbladder. Here the gallbladder is situated. In this picture also say this is a fossa for gallbladder. Okay, this is a quadrate lobe. This impression for the duodenum. This is for the flexure, colic flexure impression. Okay, and this is for the renal. And this fossa is as a fossa for gallbladder, and superiorly you can got the right end of the porta hepatitis. Okay, and inferior border of the liver. Okay, the fossa for gallbladder is extend from the right end of the porta hepatitis to inferior border of the liver, and it is 7 to 10 centimeter long and 3 centimeter in breadth. Okay, and the fossa for gallbladder is lies to right of the quadrate lobe. In the right of the fossa, the inferior surface of right lobe, okay, bears the colic impression or hepatic flexure of the colon, renal impression, and duodenal impression. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Layers of the gallbladder. The gallbladder mainly contains the mucosal layer, submucosal layer, and muscular layer, and serosal layer. The innermost layer is made up by the epithelium, and submucosa is a thin layer of loose connective tissue with smaller blood vessels. The mucosal layer formed by the smooth muscular tissue. The serosa is a thick layer that covers the outer surface of the gallbladder and is continuous with the peritoneum. And gallbladder is completely covered by the peritoneum. The gallbladder is divided into mainly 4 parts. Okay, one is fundus, body, infundibulum, and the neck. Okay, this is the bottom of the bottom part, look like a dome shaped. Okay, this is a fundus. Body is present in between the fundus and neck of the gallbladder, and it is a dilated part of the gallbladder. Infundibulum, in that you can see the one funnel shaped pouch. Okay, or you can say as a one pouch like sac you can see. Okay, that pouch like structure of infundibulum is say as a Hirschman's pouch. This is very common site for the where the gallstones are stuck or seated in that pouch. Okay, and that cause the obstruction to the bile duct, and that cause the cholecystitis. Okay, inflammation of the gallbladder. Okay, and neck is a narrowest part of the gallbladder, and it is a connection present in between the body and cystic duct, or it joins the gallbladder or body of the gallbladder to the cystic duct. And shape of the neck is, it is look like S-shaped. Because of that, there is very rare conditions only because of S-shaped neck there is stone will come, gallstones, okay, will comes and stuck here because of the S-shaped formation, and that because of that there is obstruction. Because of obstruction there is inflammation will occur, and that cause inflammation of a gallbladder, cholecystitis, and then that further cause the pyosia, means pus formation. Okay, or strawberry of gallbladder, or gallbladder sequelae, you can say gallbladder sequelae. Okay, that or pus formation, then perforation like that. What pathophysiology is there? You can go for next slide. Okay, in this parts of the gallbladder. It is mainly here explained neck, body and fundus. Neck is narrowest part of the part that tapers into the cystic duct. Body is main dilated portion that lies between the fundus and cystic duct. Okay, and fundus, it is a bottom that protrudes from under the liver. Okay, you can see here in this okay, this is a pear shaped. Okay, this is a fundus, this is a body and this is neck, and here you can got the one pouch like structure or dilated part in between the neck and cystic duct, and that is say as a Hartmann's pouch or infundibulum of the gallbladder. Okay, and cystic duct. Okay, cystic duct, one special type of the mucosal folds. Okay, the spiral mucosal folds that say as a what walls of Hartmann's. Okay, that I will explain next slide. Okay, you can see here this is a fundus. In this is a fundus. It is present from it. It is this part is protrude out from the under the liver, and it is a body. There is mainly dilated part of the gallbladder. This is the infundibulum. There is funnel shaped outpouching of a gallbladder reserve, and that forms a pouch like structure. That is pouch is a Hartmann's pouch, and his neck, you can see here neck is S shaped. You can see here like this. Okay, neck is S shaped. You can see this is neck is looking like a S shaped. Okay, and it is present in between continuous as a cystic duct. Okay, and here it is body. Okay, neck is give the connection between the gallbladder or body of the gallbladder to the cystic duct. Okay, this is look like a S shape. Because of this S shape, there is more common site for the obstruction of a gallstones. Okay, then this is a continuation of a cystic duct from here to here. This is all is as a what gallbladder. Neck is how it is. Neck is looking. Neck is look like a S shape, and it is the most narrowest part of the gallbladder. Can go for the next slide. The gallbladder is divided into already explained 4 parts: fundus, body, infundibulum and neck. Fundus is the rounded distal tip of the gallbladder which may be project below the anterior inferior liver edge. Body is the mid portion of the gallbladder which may be in contact with the duodenum and hepatic flexure. And it is present in the fossa of the gallbladder. The infundibulum is also say as a Hartmann's pouch. Okay, is a one sac like pouch present in the in between the body and neck of the gallbladder. Okay, is a focally enlarged segment between the body and the neck. It is a common site for the site of the gallstones. Here gallstones are obstructs here. Neck of the gallbladder, it is the narrowest part of the gallbladder, and it's continuous with the cystic duct, or it connects with the cystic duct. Okay, the neck of the gallbladder lies between the body and cystic duct, and it points towards the porta hepatitis. Okay, and the neck of the gallbladder look like a S shape. Here see here neck of the gallbladder, it is look like a S shape. See here, this is a S. Okay, this is a S. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Okay, now we can go for the anatomy of the cystic duct. Cystic duct, it connects the gallbladder to the common bile duct. Okay, or common cystic duct joins with the common hepatic duct and continues as a common bile duct. Cystic duct, it is a 4 cm in a length. Okay, the very important is about cystic duct, the mucosal folds of cystic duct. Okay, there are some very spiral like a spring. Okay, spiral mucosal folds are there. They are helps to what the bile or gallstones. Okay, that ducts or that stones will not move to the and continue move and connects, and it obstructs the movement of a gallstones because of this spiral folds or mucosal folds. These spiral folds are say as a spars spiralis. Okay, and these valves are say as a Hister's valves. Okay, that spiral mucosal spars spiralis or cystic duct. Okay, they are multiple and very spiral like mucosal folds are there. Their spiral folds are say as a pars spiralis. They make a function like a valves. Okay, and that valves are say as a walls of Hister's. Okay, or walls of spiral valves. Okay, and see here this is a like this spiral valves are there. Okay, these mucosal folds are say as a pars spiralis, and towards the cystic duct, towards the common hepatic duct, there is longitudinal valves. So folds are there, that is say as a pars glabra. Okay, this is about our gallbladder. This is a fundus body. This is Hartmann's pouch and neck of the gallbladder. Okay, and valves, spiral valves or pars spiralis in the cystic duct. Cystic duct is 4 cm in length and 5 mm in diameter, and here it is forms the one triangle. That triangle is say as a Kellogg's triangle, or you can also say as a hepatocystic triangle. Hepato means liver and cystic means cystic duct and contents of this Kellogg's triangle is very important. One is a cystic artery, another one is node is there. That is node is a cystic node or node of Lund. You can say node of Lund. You can go for the next slide. Gallbladder blood supply by the mainly cystic artery. Cystic artery is a branch of a hepatic artery, right hepatic artery. Venous drainage into the portal vein, cystic vein, and that drain into the portal vein. Nervous supply by the gallbladder is parasympathetic supply by the preganglionic fibers from the vagus nerve, and sympathetic innervation is by the postganglionic fibers from the celiac plexus. The lymphatic drainage, the lymphatic drain into the cystic node to hepatic node to the celiac nodes to cisterna chyli. Now functions of the gallbladder. The first function of gallbladder is it is storage for bile, and it release into the duodenum when it is required. Second one is absorption of water and the concentration of bile. Bile may be concentrated as much as 10 times. The normal gallbladder also absorbs small amount of a loose bile salt and cholesterol compounds. It regulates pressure in the biliary system by absorption, dilation and contraction. Thus the normal choledocoduodenal mechanism is maintained. Can go for the next slide. Cystic duct. Cystic duct is continuation as a neck of the gallbladder and runs downwards and backwards and joins with the common hepatic duct and continuing as a common bile duct. The cystic duct is 4 cm in long and 5 mm in diameter. Cystic duct is about 3 to 4 cm long. It begins at the neck of the gallbladder, runs downwards, backwards and to the left, and ends by the joining of the common hepatic ducts at an acute angle to form a bile duct. Can see here this is a cystic duct, and it forms the acute angle to form a common bile duct. Okay, the cystic duct, it has the one peculiarity of mucous membrane of cystic duct forms a series of 5 to 12 crescentic folds arranged spirally to form the what spiral wall. Okay, that's why it is as a so-called spiral wall of Histers. This is not true valves. Okay, but their mechanism is what obstructs to the movement of a gallstones. Okay, like this. And these are two types of valves are there. One is towards the proximal end of the cystic duct. Okay, it has a spiral folds of the mucosa. That folds are say as a crescentic mucosal folds. That say as a spiral folds. That say as a pars spiralis. And the distal they have the less folds. That is say as a pars glabra. Okay. Now we can go for the very important triangle or anatomical area. It is very helpful during the dissection of a gallbladder or any surgery regarding the gallbladder and common hepatic ducts. Okay, and this triangle helps in the, it may be laparoscopic, it may be open surgery of a cholecystectomy. Okay, that triangle is say as a Calot's triangle. Calot's triangle is formed by medially by the common hepatic duct, inferiorly by the cystic duct, or laterally by the cystic duct, and inferiorly by the hepatic or liver. Inferior surface of the liver, common hepatic duct, and cystic duct. Superiorly by the liver, medially by the common hepatic duct, and laterally by the cystic duct. Okay, like that Calot's triangle is formed. Superiorly liver, inferior surface of the liver, medially common hepatic duct, laterally cystic duct, and contents of the Calot's triangle is what? Cystic artery and cystic lymph node, or it's also lymph node of Lund, we can say. Can go for the next slide. In this it is also say as a hepatocystic triangle. This is a hepatic, this is a cystic duct. That's why it is also say as a hepatocystic triangle. And this is a medially common hepatic duct, cystic duct. Okay, laterally and superiorly by the inferior surface of a liver. Okay, during the surgery of a cholecystectomy, you can first identify this triangle, dissection of this triangle you can make, then first ligate the cystic artery. Okay, how you can identify cystic artery? By the help of a dissection of a cystic lymph node, and identify the cystic artery, ligation of the cystic artery, then ligation of a cystic duct. Before that ligation of the cystic duct, you palpate the cystic duct. Okay, because any stone is there, anything is there, you can just before that you can palpate. This is about the what? Hepatocystic triangle, or you can say as a Calot's triangle. This is the anatomy of the Calot's triangle. Okay, can go for the next slide. The cystohepatic triangle or triangle of Calot's. Okay, the dissection of a cystohepatic triangle is regarded as the key component to performing a safe laparoscopic cholecystectomy. Cholecystectomy means removal of a gallbladder. The modern definition of the three boundaries of triangle varies from Calot's original thesis. The superior border is by the liver, medial border superiorly by the liver, its inferior border medially by the common hepatic duct, and laterally by the cystic duct. Okay, you can see here 1, 2, 3. One about hepatic means liver, superior border. Okay, one is superior border by the liver, its inferior border. Second by the common hepatic duct, this is medial. Lateral border by the cystic duct. You can see here. This denotes the Calot's triangle. Can go for the next slide. Okay, it is also same about scallops. It is a can say as a modern in consistence modern way. Okay, in modern consistency, what is meant by Kellogg's triangle? It is also known as a cystohepatic triangle. Is as well known features of the hepatobiliary system that is recognized and dissected during the SAPE cholecystectomy. In various modern textbooks, the borders of Kellogg's triangles are defined to be the inferior surface of the liver superiorly and the cystic duct laterally and common hepatic duct medially. Yet the triangle described by the John Phenixon's Kellogg's in his original doctoration thesis in 1891 had a different superior border, the cystic artery. Is here say as a in Kellogg's triangle they has say as a cystic artery. It is a forms the superior border of a Kellogg's triangle. Okay, and this descriptions continues to be a common encountered source of confusion in modern medicine. You can see here there is two triangles. You can see this is say it is a hepatocystic triangle, means nowadays considered as a this is a actual Kellogg's triangle. Before they are considered as a Kellogg's triangles, means the superior border is formed by the cystic artery, common hepatic duct and cystic duct. Okay, you can go for the next slide. Now we can study about the common bile duct. Common bile duct is formed by the junction of a or continuation of a or joining of a common hepatic duct and cystic duct joins together and forms the common bile duct. Okay, and that starts at the lesser omentum or hepatoduodenal ligament. Along with hepatoduodenal ligament, it comes downwards. Okay, along with the portal vein and hepatic artery. Then it runs behind the first part of the duodenum. Okay, and then it lies in groove of the pancreatic groove or posterior surface of head of the pancreas, and here the bile ducts come into contact with the main pancreatic duct and forms the hepatopancreatic ampulla. It is also said as a ampulla of Vater. Okay, the common bile duct, it is a 3 inches in long, okay, and 5 mm in breadth. The common bile duct is about 3 inches or 8 centimeter in long. Courses first it is lies in the free margin of a lesser omentum. Okay, in that mainly by the hepatoduodenal ligament along with the portal vein and hepatic artery. Then it runs behind the first part of the duodenum. Then it lies in groove on the posterior surface of the head of the pancreas. Here it bile duct comes in contact with the main pancreatic duct. You can see here in this picture the duodenum common bile duct, okay, is divided into supraduodenal, which part is present superior to the duodenum, that is supraduodenal, retroduodenal or posterior duodenal, which part is present posterior to the first part of the duodenum, that is say as a retroduodenal, and infraduodenal, which part is present below the duodenum, say as a infraduodenal, and it is comes along with the hepatoduodenal ligament or lesser omentum. Along with the lesser omentum, it is present in the lesser omentum, comes along with the lesser omentum, and it is just lateral to the portal vein and hepatic artery. Okay, then it runs downwards, backwards, and further downwards, and it is joins with the pancreatic ducts and bile duct, hepatopancreatic ampulla or ampulla of Vater, and that open into the second part of the duodenum that forms the major papilla, and this hepatopancreatic ampulla or ampulla of Vater has one sphincter. That sphincter is as a sphincter of Oddi. Further, the common bile duct has its further own sphincter that say as a sphincter of Choledochus, and pancreas also has a one sphincter, the sphincter of pancreas. Can go for the next slide. In this you can see as a this is a first part of the duodenum. Just above the part of the duodenum is as a supraduodenal part, okay, and just lateral or front of the portal vein, this is a common bile duct, supraduodenal part of common bile duct. It is front and lateral to the hepatic artery. This is a it is front of the portal vein and just lateral to the gastroduodenal artery. And in the infraduodenal, just below the duodenum, it has the groove in the posterior head of the pancreas. In that pancreatial groove, that is infraduodenal part, okay, and opens at the second part by the major papillae. Can see here, this is the duodenum. This is a duodenum. Above that part is supraduodenal, retroduodenal and infraduodenal of common bile duct. Now we can go for the relations of the common bile duct. Supraduodenal part. First we can go for the supraduodenal part. It descends along with the right margins of the hepatoduodenal ligament. I already explained. You can see here, this is a lesser omentum is formed by the hepatogastric ligament and hepatoduodenal ligament. Okay, here this is a hepatoduodenal ligament. To right of proper hepatic artery and anterior to the hepatic portal vein. Okay, and retroduodenal segment, it is present just behind the or posterior to the first part of the duodenum, behind the superior part of the duodenum, anterior to the vena cava, and to the right to the hepatic portal vein or lateral to the portal vein. Can go for the next. Then infraduodenal or pancreatic segment. That pancreatic segment, it is also comes under the infraduodenal segment, that is lies in groove between the posterior surface of head of the pancreas and duodenum. Then infraduodenal segment, it enters the wall of the descending part of the duodenum obliquely, where joins the pancreatic duct to form the hepatopancreatic ampulla, opens at the major duodenal papillae. You can see here in this picture, this is our whole lesser omentum. This is about hepato means liver, duodenum means duodenum, hepatoduodenal ligament. Along this ligament, along this lesser omentum, the common bile duct runs. Okay, and you can see here, this is a foramina of Winslow or foramina of epiploic foramina. Here you can got the what it is portal triad. Portal triad means portal vein, hepatic artery and bile duct. It can say as a portal triad. Okay, along with this ligament, what common common bile duct runs. Okay, it is runs backwards, downwards, backwards, further backwards, and now downwards, and joins with the pancreatic duct. The hepatoduodenal ligaments is between porta hepatitis and superior aspect of the first part of the duodenum. They enclosing the portal triad. Portal triad means it contains the portal vein, the hepatic artery and bile duct. The hepatogastric ligament, okay, lesser omentum is formed by the hepatoduodenal ligament and hepatogastric ligament. It between the groove for ligamentum venosum and lesser curvature of stomach. You can see here in this picture also. And this is a portal triad. Okay, this is a hepatic artery, this is a portal vein, and this is a bile duct. You can see this is a supraduodenal. This is right hepatic, left hepatic duct, common hepatic duct, cystic duct joined together and forms the common bile duct. In that above the duodenum, this part is a supraduodenal part. Behind the first part of the duodenum, this part is the retroduodenal, and this segment is as a infraduodenal. In that first is pancreatic segment. Pancreatic segment means it is have one groove between the posterior head of the pancreas, and by that it is comes, and here pancreatic duct and bile duct joins together forms the dilated part, that is part say as a ampulla. Ampulla means dilated part. Okay, ampulla of Vater or hepatopancreatic ampulla. Okay, you can see here in this picture also, right and left hepatic duct, common hepatic duct, cystic duct, common bile duct, pancreatic duct joined together forms the hepatopancreatic ampulla or ampulla of Vater, and that open into the major papilla in the second part of the duodenum. Okay, like that. And this is, you can see, this is a portal tride, and see here this is a portal tride, this is a bile duct, this is portal vein, and this is a hepatic artery. Okay, and it is always bile duct is lateral to the artery, lateral to the portal vein or just above the portal vein. You can go for the next slide. The sphincters relate to the bile duct and pancreatic duct. Okay, the sphincter, one is sphincter of Choledochus, which is present to the sphincter to the common bile duct, sphincter to the pancreatitis, and sphincter of ampulla, that is a sphincter of Oddi, and like that. Okay, this is a common bile duct, it has one sphincter, that sphincter is a sphincter of Choledochus. This is a pancreatic duct, it has one sphincter, that sphincter is a sphincter of pancreatitis, and both are joined together and forms the hepatopancreatic ampulla or ampulla of Vater. The ampulla of Vater, it has one sphincter, that sphincter is say as a sphincter of Oddi, and that open into the second part of the duodenum and by the major papillae. Okay, major papillae. This about the biliarity. And applied anatomy, cholecystitis, obstructive jaundice. In that, one of the major causes gallstone. Pancreaticocholangiography. Okay, then sequelae of acute cholecystitis, there is gangrene formation, first formation, poiocele formation, mucocele means mucus will collect in the gallbladder and form the mucocele, like that. And acute cholecystitis, gangrene of the gallbladder, okay, perforation of a gallbladder. Then congenital anomalies of a biliarity, in that choledochal cysts or cysts of a biliary. This is about the, in shortly, about biliary tree. Thank you very much.